Yeah, let's see. Here we go. Oh,
Hello, hello.
hello.
There we go. This stupid technology.
Yeah, it is how it is.
Exactly. Hello, and David, once again, thank you for having me, and everyone who's watching, hello to you all. And I would like to say hello to some people, some certain people, but instead of favoring someone out, I was going to do this. You know who you are.
Yeah, Billy Boy. All right, yeah. So, and I would also like to thank you for doing this. I've been doing a couple of these, and you were kind of like when I started to do this, like I would really like to talk to Tommy.
Cool.
Yeah. So because I see you kind of if I were to make a description of you, I've been giving this one a lot of thought. So see what you think of this one. I'm rubbing you up now. So Tommy, the secret love child of Joey Tempest and Tommy Körberg, raised by Mikael Lupi with Michael Kiske as his biggest influence.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Ah!
Yeah. That's perfect. Really, I take that as a huge compliment. Really, thank you so much. And Michele Lupi, that you mentioned him as well. I've been listening a lot to Vision Divine, and one day there will be a vocal cover of La Vita Fudge. Because...
Yeah. I wanna kill time.
Exactly. Oh, wait, nothing, and so on.
Oh yeah, that's.
I'm just fixing this. There we go. Now you can't see me. Oh, there we go. Perfect.
There we are. Yeah, that song was like mind blowing.
Yeah, and
when I
especially
heard it the first time.
I mean, he sings much better live than on the record. And for you guys who doesn't know this, it's an Italian band called Vision Divine. The singer, Michele Lupi, who now plays keyboard in Whitesnake, he sings, oh my God, he's such an amazing singer, really. And I mean, he's one of the few guys that you prefer to hear him live instead of on the album, because he sings so much better live than the album.
Yeah, and I remember that the first album. I don't remember the name of it right now, but I have had that one and the DVD, the live DVD, and that's also the legendary La Vita Fugge, the ending note where he keeps it like forever. But the album that came afterwards, the Perfect Machine, that was like the album where I was standing in the rehearsal space and like this is something different. Because I've heard, you've heard Russell Allen and James Labrie, all of these, or Tony Kakko, all of these amazing, but it was like, this is something very special.
Yeah, I agree, really. And I mean, I know Italian power metal singers are among the best in the world. Unfortunately, some of the biggest singers that we know are unfortunately not the best ones, like Michele Lupi. I don't know if many people in this chat here know who that guy is. Before we start to talk about him, I mean, Fabio Leone is one of them, but he's not the best. He is a great singer, absolutely, but I mean, Michele Lupi is just, yeah.
He's on another level, and even his kind of AOR-ish solo stuff, is I love that, the Heaven, I think it was called.
Yeah.
So, but this must have been around 2005, something like that. And I've been doing my research a little bit, and the first thing you actually sang on, is that the first ReinXeed album, or no, Majestic Vanguard? But you didn't release anything with that band, right?
With what band?
Majestic Vanguard. Or was that like...
Yeah, no. I didn't release anything. I was a singer for a couple of months only. I was there. We did two shows together. I started to record some new songs, which sounded fantastic, really. But unfortunately, I was not what they were looking for, and they were not what I was looking for. I mean, there were never any hard feelings. It was just, I had one way of working, and they wanted things to go another way. So we did 2 gigs together, and both of us just, well, okay. Please sing Tammy from the Bade. Maybe after a little bit more wine, Hannes, I can sing some of that.
Okay, you're now, if you're saying that you're drinking wine, then I don't have to, be embarrassed. So cheers.
Cheers to all of you out there who is not enjoying the Swedish Eurovision Song Contest. Thank you for stopping by, and cheers. And
I remember I've been asking you on and off for this, a couple of times, and we didn't find the time to, make it work. And then we said, well, this Saturday, that works fine. And then you said, well, you don't gonna watch the Eurovision either. So, no. So yeah, but about 2008,
you disappeared a little.
Yeah, I was just saying that we didn't even think about the Eurovision. We just
no.
Right. But I mean, there's still a lot of people watching right now. So, but all right, you started this, then you started ReinXeed instead. And
yeah, exactly. Well, actually, ReinXeed had already started, but I didn't. I hadn't at that point. I hadn't released any albums yet. I was about to release the first album when I joined Majestic Vanguard. It was the same kind of music, but it wasn't for me. I mean, the guys in Majestic Vanguard, great guys. The drummer, David. What was his name? Daniel was his name. We became very good friends, and I went up on stage on the first show, and I just started with a high-pitched vocal scream, like a power metal singer should do when they open a gig.
Yes.
You start with a heavy metal scream.
Yeah.
And they told me afterwards that maybe tone down a little bit on those screams. Okay, so then for the next show, I tuned it down a little bit. But I mean, I'm standing there on stage, and I got a good feeling now. I really want to do this, and but it was not only that. It was other things that didn't work, and I wasn't really used to only being a singer. I wanted to play guitar as well. So we departed. I actually came after I said goodbye to the guys. I went down to Falköping, Falköping in Sweden, and Falköping it was, and just hung out with the guys. And I even talked. We hung out with the old singer that came back after I left the band, and we had a good time. So my point here is that Majestic Vanguard is a great power metal band, and unfortunately, they only released one album. So, yeah.
But about this time, you were about like 19 or 20 or something like that when you released the first the first ReinXeed album with you as a singer. And but I mean, for how long had you been singing before that? I mean, if we say like a bit more for real, not just in the shower.
I started to sing when I was 15. Greetings from Transylvania. Well, hello to you too. I started to sing when I was 15. I heard Sebastian Bach sing the ending of 18 and Life, and I was like, holy shit, what is that? Exactly. And so I remembered Skid Row. Okay, so I went to Ginza, a Swedish shop where you could buy CDs online. So I ordered the one album. I didn't know what was the name of the song. I just ordered an album, and when it got home, I listened through the album, and I remember when I was on the fifth song, the beginning of the fifth song, I was like, shit, I will never find this song. And then it comes to the end of the fifth track, and there it was, 18 Alive. And then I started to listen to a lot of Skid Row, trying to, you know, copy Sebastian Bach, which is, of course, impossible to sing like he did when he was in his early 20s. But that was my goal, really, to be able to sing like him. And then I heard Halloween around the same time, and I thought, okay, cool songs. And then someone told me, the first drummer from ReinXeed, Robin, he actually told me, the day you are able to sing Eagle Fly Free is the day when I will be very, very happy. So I listened to that song, it's like, holy shit, how can someone ever sing that high? That's like impossible. So I started to practice on that song, and I mean, it was too high for me. I was 15 years old, never been kissed. And I was just a young boy and trying to sing that song. It was just impossible. But then at the age of 18, I remember trying that song on, playing that with a band I had, and I nailed it, kind of. I got there, but it didn't sound so good, of course. But I kind of got there, and I was so happy. I was like, holy shit. I reached the highest note in Eagle Fly Free. That's it. I'm done. It's like...
Yeah, mic drop.
Yeah.
But would you say that was your like moment when you felt like, sure, I could do this, I could sing?
Yeah, I mean, one of those moments. Yeah, that was the moment. Because I mean, I was 18 years old. I wasn't fully developed in my voice or in my head or in my body or anywhere.
Yeah.
For me, it was just a huge moment. Like, you know, the same kind of feeling I had when I heard Sebastian Bach sing for the first time, when I heard Out in the Fields with Gary Moore when I was 9 years old. Like, okay, this is what I want to do. I'm going to sing. Okay, I can sing these high notes. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm born to do, to sing power metal. Of course, it took me a couple of years to realize that just because you can reach the notes doesn't mean you're a good singer, because you need to be able to sing those notes good. So when I recorded the first 3 ReinXeed albums, The Light, Higher, and Majestic, where we then got the name Majestica from, I realized that height is not everything, because the middle voice is not fully developed yet. And I hear people sing like Bryan Adams, you know, when Bryan Adams or Michael Bolton go in this middle part, it's so fantastic. I mean, wow, such power in the voice. And I don't have that because I've been focusing on the high parts. So then on the 4th album, 1912, well, thank you, Daniel. Thank you very much, Daniel Mossberg. Great guy. Then I started to sing a little bit more in the middle part. And I realized that, shit, I have a lot of practice to do, really. Because to be able to sing this doesn't mean you're a great singer. It means you can sing falsetto power metal very good. But here, you cannot sing anything else. So I started to practice that. So you can hear on the 1912 that I sing a little bit lower. Still a couple of high notes every here and there, but I still took it down a notch to be able to learn how to sing everything, not only super extreme, super mega power metal.
Yeah, because and that's an interesting thing you said, because you know, not fully developed. It's also, you know, and singing the high notes doesn't make you a good singer, because that's interesting, because you also need the musicality. Not only the the physiology of singing, because sorry, like, because you had been playing guitar like for years before that, I guess. So when you started to sing, you already had a musicality in place.
Yeah, I understand.
And that's what I sometimes try to tell students and people who wants to sing and or learn how to sing. Well, you have to learn music too. It's not only, you know, voice functionality or how to sing the highest notes in whatever song, because you need a musicality too. Otherwise, you will just be like a one-trick pony, you know, jumping around, showing off.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, you need to know not only what you're singing, but also why you're singing. I mean,
Yeah.
when I'm singing this, how not why, how. I mean, when I'm gonna sing here, how am I going to do that? I don't only need to reach the note. I need to reach the note in a certain way, because the throat is, of course, a muscle. And when I'm up here, I use the throat in one way. When I'm down here, a different way, and here and so on. So I need to learn how to control that, how to control the different parts when I'm singing, and that took some time, and I'm still not fully developed, and I don't think I will ever be, really.
But one thing that I really enjoy when I listen to you is that you have there's a very nice posh word in Swedish, egaliserad, eagle-eyed, and that's a very cool word, eagle-eyed.
Eagle-eyed.
But I don't think that's the correct term. But you know, the sound of your voice, like the timbre, is the same throughout the entire range. Like, it doesn't sound like you're one singer up here or one singer here and another one there, because you keep the same sound throughout the range. And that is what I think you're talking about, what you need to learn to think not only height or melody, but also sound, and being able to imagine like keeping the sound when you go up or when you go down, so you don't get the, I don't know, you know, you know, when you need to keep the same kind of timbre in it. And that takes me to the next thing, you know, when you're because it's one thing when you write an entire song, but I really loved the Christmas album, by the way, but
okay,
when you were choosing keys for the different, you know, snippets of Swedish or other traditional, how do you was the process? Do you like try, okay, so this works best, or this sounds cool, or was it just, oh, it needs to be in B flat because of this and that?
Most of the time it was actually because it needs to be in that key. I mean, I don't know why, really. It sounds good. For example, this song, I don't remember the name. A Christmas Carol. You know, this when I'm singing. Fools around me, Christmas going on there. That one is like, okay, F sharp major. That means that when I go up one octave, I'm gonna sing. And so on. And then when I reach the highest part, it's gonna be F sharp one octave up.
And then you get
exactly.
That was actually good. That was the thing I was thinking about, like, because, so that's curious, like, because of the arrangement, was it like, okay, this needs to be like, or was it like, I can do the F sharp?
Yeah, but I started with this song in E minor, actually.
Yeah.
And then I realized when I came to, you know, starting with fools around me, cities going under, going under. it was like, okay, this works, but then I got up one octave. And I realized, no, it doesn't sound good. It needs to be F sharp. And I started to do that because, you know, going back to this muscle thing, when I sing, I can control the voice, those kind of notes in that way a little bit better than if I would do it in E minor, even though it's just one step down, one step up. I got better control up there. So that's why that song goes in F sharp minor. And then, of course, Ghost of Christmas Past, for example. Then I realized on the verse, let's go back to where it started, when my life was filled with peace. E major works fine. Let's go with it. But then we go to the chorus. You know, come thing around, we fly away to a time of exactly. It doesn't really work in if the E major means C sharp major, but that sounds too easy, so to say. E minor would be a little bit too high for this. So then I thought, okay, how about D minor? Yeah, that works, and everyone knows that D minor is the saddest key. So, so that was just. I mean, it's hard to experiment and try to find a good key, but sometimes it was like with the song "We Must Go Faster" with ReinXeed. It actually
1912, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, from 1912.
Exactly. You know your ReinXeed. I like that. G sharp major, and it's like, why G sharp major? It's such a weird key. Why not A major or G minor, but in between? It's just because now my little sister is here as well. Hello, Christine.
Hey.
Welcome. So nice of you to watch all the way from Umeå. Then I just started with the G sharp major, and it was kind of tricky, you know, with the piano and the guitars. Like, how does it work? But it just had to be in that key. It was so
if we're like on a philosophical level, almost, you would say that you primarily choose key based on the voice and the range, and then you adapt the guitar playing. Other than doing, it's not like, wow, this is a cool riff. I need to find a vocal melody.
Yeah, exactly. Because I went to A minor because, I mean, why play in G sharp major when you play in A minor, especially the intro riff and everything, the solo, everything would be so much easier. But the sound was like, no, it needs to be F sharp, G sharp major. That's just this. It sounds so much better. So I tuned it down a bit, not for the vocals, but because the sound really. It's hard to explain. It's just
but I totally get you, because like you said with the control, because the area like in where you go from like A, B, C sharp, that's the area that's the trickiest, because like if you get up to the C sharp, then you can do the you know, where you're thinning things, make it sound more. But if you're on a B, you know, it starts to get weak. So that's like the area of uncertainty, kind of, because once you get above that, then it's, you know, then it's full kiske, you know, and if you're below, then you can go Tommy Johansson. And for those of you who don't know who he is, he's the greatest singer in the world, Swedish, a Swedish musical theater singer, whatever. But so like, and I, by the way, "Hark the Herald Angels Sing" is my favorite Christmas song. So I really like that you included that one. But like, "Hark the Herald Angels Sing," like if you have it in E, then we glory to, then it would be like, you know, very screamy. But if you like you said, if you instead if you say, glory to them, then you can thin it up. So I totally get what it is you're aiming for, or
Exactly.
what you were saying.
Yeah. So on that song, I mean the verse, you know, where we said, it's like you can sing that with kind of thin voice, make it sound clean and joyful as well. But then when it comes to this,
Yeah.
then you need to go higher, because you go to C sharp, so you need to change your voice. You cannot go as thin, so you need to open up a little bit more, and then quickly go back when you go, you know. So around here, you need to thin it back again. Otherwise, this will be more screamy, and it wouldn't fit the sound really. So
Yeah, and that ability to switch between the what I usually call it, like you use a lot of vocal fold mass or less vocal fold mass. You know, you use a thinner part of your vocal folds. The ability to switch between those two, that is kind of the hardest thing, I think, to learn if you can't do it naturally. And if I don't sing for a while, that's what I lose first. That ability, you know. Then it will be like the herald angels sing. Then it will be, you know, you get that one. So that's what I lose first if I don't practice at all or don't sing at all.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, really, and that's one of the bad things with having this, you know, technique where you change the voice according to where you're singing, the heights. Because, for example, when I'm very bad in my throat, when I'm really sick, the mid part, it goes away right away. Like if I'm, let's say, I'm on a karaoke night with my friend Anders here from the band Bionity, and we have a karaoke night, and you know, you get a couple of more of these wonderful glasses of wine.
Yes.
And you start singing, and then you realize the mid part, it goes away like that, but the high part and the low part I have. So that's why when I go to karaoke and I get a little bit, you know, tipsy, I always choose a song where I get to scream, because that I know I can handle, even when I'm drunk or when I'm tired in my throat. I can always get those ones. You know, you switch to like mixed falsetto kind of thing in the voice, and I can always hit that. But the mid part is gone. So that's one of the bad things. But the good thing is that when I'm good, when I'm feeling well in my throat, I can really, you know, control it and sing high, and then go back to another mode, and you don't really hear when I'm switching. You know, even though I would do a like that, but in full voice, you know, I don't want to wake up the neighbors. You can still do that without hearing, you know, this kind of that kind of thing, you know, the gap. You kind of smooth the gap so you don't hear it. And I know a lot of singers does this. For example, Christian Eriksson from North Tail, former Twilight Force. Another great example of someone who can really master this, going from one mode to another, and you don't hear it.
And like the same, like I said before, like keeping the same sound, because I remember, because I've heard you sing those songs too, live, Copenhagen in, I don't remember the year, but
2017.
Yeah. Yes, I remember. I was there listening to you. For example, the "So behold the flying you know, the flight needs to be the soft thing, but you know, with the power metal sound. But you could do so behind, you know, Tommy Johansson.
Yeah, exactly.
But with both with you and with Christian, for example, you can't really tell. I mean, are you doing so behind? Is it the oh, or is it the you know, somewhere in between? And that's the art, I think, to be able to I mean, when I can't hear the difference, that's like
Cool.
and then yeah, and then when I don't hear it, then it doesn't matter, and then I can just listen and enjoy.
That's awesome. I'm very glad to hear that. And I mean that it's that kind of music.
Yeah.
I've been listening a lot to Christian, how he sings the songs. So you know, me jumping in for Twilight Force with 2 weeks notice. Of course, I listened to the former singer, in this case Christian. I was listening to him.
Yeah.
How does he sing the songs? He sings it very clean because he has a very clean voice, and it fits the songs very well. So
yeah,
and it needs to be. I mean, if you listen to the voice itself, it doesn't have so much power. I mean, it's not falsetto, but I mean, it's not full chest voice all the way, because then would be very, very screamy, and it wouldn't.
And you would probably lose your voice in one night.
Yeah, I would lose my voice in one night, and it wouldn't fit the sound, really. But then if I would go Sabaton, for example, if I would sing a Sabaton song with my clean voice, people would not say, "Wow, he's a great singer." They would say, "What the is he doing? Really?
Yeah,
He's destroying the song." But then I take the same sound of the vocals to Twilight Force, and people might say, "Okay, that fits to the song. Perfect."
Yeah.
So I mean, it depends on what kind of music you're playing, you're singing.
But I mean, when you are singing at the level that you are singing, and also the same like you sang back then in like 2017, even if you, and I think that you are a bit comfortable in your abilities. You know, I can do this, I can do that. This is where I sound the best, because I hear you also, you know, you're very aware of your own sound. But were you, even if you are a very good singer, were you just a little bit afraid
to join Twilight Force?
To join Twilight Force? Yeah.
Well, to be honest, I was thrilled. I was so excited, looking forward to it so much, but I was terrified. I was so scared, really, because I mean, when they talked to the guys, they talked to me and asked if I would step in for this tour only. Yeah. And I checked the dates with Sabaton. It's like, well, fortunately, we have 3 weeks off at that period, so yeah, it fits perfect. But we also needed to go to Russia and was it Russia and Japan? Yeah. At that time. So I was gone for like 2 weeks, and during that time I didn't have time to practice with the band, so I was listening to the songs all the time. I can't remember watching any movies at all, like on the flights or anything. We had like an 11-hour flight. I was listening to the songs, writing down the lyrics on my iPad, deleting the lyrics, writing it down again, deleting it, you know, doing that just to remember everything, because we got back on the 16th of October, if I'm not mistaken, and the 17th was the first show with Twilight Force. So I just went to a hotel room, got a few hours of sleep, and then I met up with Philip, the guitarist, on Arlanda, and we took off to Holland, I think. and started the tour. And no rehearsal at all. The keyboard player, Daniel, he came with the lyric sheets and said, here, if you need it. So yeah, thanks, I might need it. So it was prepared on stage, a bunch of copies, really. Exactly, in October 2017, that is correct. But I didn't need the lyric sheets because I was practicing listening to songs so much. So the first time I sang any of the songs, you know, for real, was on stage with a band. Because we're on tour. I live in a hotel room, we travel. It's not like I can, you know, stand in the hotel room and with the dry power of the ancient four stars are shining. Yeah. And then the you know, you would hear the neighbor, hey, shut up in there, trying to sleep or whatever.
Yeah.
I nailed that tour. Well, thank you very much. I'm very glad to hear that.
Yeah, and I totally agree for the record. So
thank you very much.
But if we are on another almost philosophical level, like when you were rehearsing and when you were like practicing in your mind, like you probably did, you know, sitting on a plane and stuff like, did you hear your own voice or did you hear Christian's voice in your head?
Oh, that's a good one. I could hear Christian's voice with my singing technique. Like I was singing, but the sound that came out was the voice of Christian. Because I've only heard Twilight Force with Christian. It would be one thing if I just did one rehearsal with the guys. I would know how my voice would sound. But I didn't, so of course I just had his voice in my head all the time. But I also know that...
I mean, you could have a worse voice in your head.
Yeah, of course. I really enjoyed having Christian's voice in my head. A singer who has a voice that I've been admiring for many years, even before I met him, even before he started Twilight Force. I've always known who he was. So, yeah, it's a great voice. Just wanted to say that. I don't know if he's watching. If you watch Christian, I love your voice, but you know that already. But I know that, you know, I figure out what key the songs is. This is very important and something that is very, very helpful. A tip for people who are singing. Learn to, you know, to get to know your voice. How the song, how your vocal sounds like in a certain key and how to control your muscles in a certain key. For example, the Flight of the Sapphire Dragon, B flat.
Is it B flat? I thought it was A.
Exactly. Fly away. I don't have any voice anymore. Fly away over mountains and sea. So G minor and B flat.
Oh, so it's an F up there?
Yeah.
So behold the light of God.
Exactly. So I knew that. Okay, so it's in B flat, and then I know how I should do with my muscles in the throat when I go up there. Okay, so I'm da 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 da. Okay, that's an F. I could hear that it's an F. F, B flat, C, D, E flat, D, B flat, and so on. So I knew how to work with my voice, and that was very, very helpful, really. I think if I didn't have... I also warm up singing Highlander, of course.
Yeah. Anything else is for beginners, you know.
Yeah. Exactly.
Every Sunday morning.
Sunday morning, yeah, even Sunday night. When I know that people are going to bed, it's like, okay, I'm gonna give them one last Highlander for today.
Yeah. but that's another thing, you know. with music theory or playing an instrument. And I love to hand out like one-liners, and I always say that learning how to play an instrument will never make you a worse singer.
That is true. That is very, very true. Because I mean, if you know what key you're singing in, and you can, you're playing a song, you know that okay, it's an A minor, and you start singing in that key, you get to know your voice in that key, and then you realize, okay, I need to play this in G minor. You have to adapt your voice to that key. It's not only to sing and change the key, because you need to adapt your voice to it as well, because half a step, that makes a big difference. If you're gonna sing up here and the song is in B flat, and then it's like, okay, I know how to do that, and then someone says, but yeah, we're gonna play it in A major, they could be like, okay, this can be a problem if you're not used to it. So.
I have a metal cover band with some guys from the Academy of Music, where we play the music we weren't allowed to play there, and everything we loved when we were 15, Metallica, Megadeth, Pantera, all of that, and they all have a standard D tuning. So so for me, it's like, okay, my first thought was like, oh, nice, but then I realized that a lot of the songs are made to be played in or that's obvious, but they were made to be played and sung in a certain key, and you have that. I mean, you have that number of the beast. You have that note in your head. So I had serious trouble singing the songs, because if you sing the Trooper, you know exactly, but one step down. So my mind was really, so I had to like put the songs in like some program in the computer and lower them and listen to them in one step down, just to get it in my head. Songs I've been listening to since I was a kid.
Yeah, I totally get that. Absolutely, because you get used to, your voice gets used to it. It's like it's muscles. Really,
yeah.
It's the same if someone tells you, lift this crate, it weighs 20 kilos, but it actually weighs 30 kilos. Then you will not think, okay, this is not a problem for me because it's only 20 kilos. And someone tells you, oh yeah, sorry, it was 30 kilos. Then all of a sudden, shit, this is quite heavy.
Yeah.
Just an example. So it's like when I sing a karaoke song, and I start singing like the final countdown, and then I sing and I realize it's going be easy, but then I realize, holy shit, it's E minor instead of F sharp. Then it gets fucked up, really.
And that kind of makes me think of one thing, because Joey Tempest, they have lowered a lot of the Europe songs, so they very early on with the reunion, they lowered the final countdown to E minor, and that's a thing. And also the same thing with my number one hero, Tommy Johansson, with Anthem. And I guess you've sung it on a couple of karaoke nights too. How can I leave? And he has lowered it from D to C. And his explanation to this was, when he plays it live nowadays, and his explanation was, well, I'm not 60 anymore.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. Yeah. But I respect both Joey and Tommy for doing that. Better to lower the song and sound better than forcing yourself into something that you can't do anymore.
We tune everything down with Majestica. We only had a couple of gigs with Majestica, but we tuned everything down one step. And it's not because I cannot sing that high live because I
Oh.
can. Tommy Drive Mountain. Exactly. That's Anders from Bionity. He's always such a funny guy. Tommy Drive Mountain. But anyway,
I actually. Yeah, sorry.
I just want to say that we tune it down because it saves me a lot of power, really. It makes it's easier to perform the show, also because I'm playing guitar and singing at the same time. To lower everything down just one step, it's still very, very high. So above the sky is still a challenge, but I would fix it. I would do it in the original key, but it's a little bit easier, and also it sounds more heavy.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But what is it? Is it above the skies? Is it a G?
No, it's a D minor.
Ah,
So
yeah.
light is shining bright.
Yeah.
F,
and you know, and F is a challenge on a normal day too. Sometimes. So.
Yeah, you were gonna say something.
I think I forgot.
Was about Bionity, Anders from Bionity.
Yeah. I listened to the. You know, I before this I made like a playlist, and I've been listening to your stuff for a week now.
Okay.
So
really?
So today I was out. I was having a walk, and it was like the Bionity songs came on, and I was like, yeah, this is some good shit. Because you've been on a couple of songs with him, right?
Yeah, I sang on 2 songs, and then I played guitar solo on 1 song. For the Glory was the first thing I ever did with Bionity.
Yeah. And that's another thing. That's actually a question that I got through the stories. We're gonna have to take some of those too. But do you mostly get asked to do session guitar or session vocals?
I don't know. It's I think mostly vocals. Actually, nowadays it's mostly vocals.
Yeah.
But there's been a couple of guitar solos here and there, but mostly vocals.
Yeah, and that's I remember the first time we appeared on a song together. Do you remember which one?
I think the first time we appeared on a song together was, I think, Aldaria, but it was not the first one, exactly that one, yeah. But it was not the first one we recorded. Because Gabriels.
Hey.
There we go.
That one too, yeah.
Yeah, I recorded that at least in 2016.
Yeah.
So
and in some way he kind of, and this was supposed to be like part 2 of his trilogy, but it got extended. So it was released 2020.
Yeah, exactly. Wait a minute. Aldaria was before that. I am so sorry.
Yeah, it must have been. Aldaria must have been before that.
It was, I'm very, very sorry. Yeah, so that was the first album we did together.
Yeah. Together with another great singer, Rob Lundgren.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Swedish YouTube phenomenon.
Fantastic voice. I've been listening a lot to his videos. It's such, I really admire his distortion that he gets.
Yeah, and he makes it such an effortless distortion, even in both in the low parts and the mids and the highs, because the I don't know about you, but the high distortion stuff is often pretty easy for me. It's like I just need to feel very open and very relaxed, and I can sing, very, and it's just, I just open up and let things come, and then there's distortion. But in the mid parts, the James Hetfield distortion, that takes effort. But Rob, he makes it sound, like, yeah, it's all the same. you know.
It's like a switch, and
Yeah,
sounds supernatural and sounds so easy. And you try it yourself, and you really have to put effort to it
yeah,
to really get that kind of sound. People watching here, the lovely people watching this chat, if you haven't heard Rob Lundgren, check him out on YouTube. Some free promotion here for that guy.
yeah. And he does a very cool thing too, because he records uh, Holy Thunder Force, and so you hear with the background music and all that, and then afterwards you can hear only the vocals.
Yeah,
and that's a brave motherfucker.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, that's
because
cool.
Listening to isolated vocal tracks, that's I don't know. That's one thing that I hate more than anything, because mostly when I record on my own. I choose the takes on my own. I do, that's the worst thing I know, picking takes. Yeah, if you sing like this, sing the first verse like 4 times, all right, which one sounds better? That's like total angst for me.
Yeah, that's why I usually don't work like that, because I usually record until I'm satisfied, because I've been trying with that. It's like when I'm recording choirs or harmonies, I usually do like this. We have the lead vocals, and then I have 4 doubles of the lead vocals, 2 left and 2 right. So we get like a wall of choirs, and then I put up the lower harmonies and the higher harmonies and so on. But then when I record, the first line is like, okay, this sounds very good. And then I record the choirs, and I realize, okay, I'm more comfortable to this melody and the lines and the words now. So maybe some of the harmony tracks sounds better than the lead vocals. And then I listened like, yeah, this one sounds better, but this one has a better vibrato. So, shit. So, yeah, I know what you're saying. I really, really don't enjoy picking, because whatever you choose is going to be the right one, but you're also going to regret that, because you're always going to feel, okay, this sounds good, but I should have gone with the other one. And then you keep it the way it is, and then you feel, I'm satisfied, but damn, I should have tried some of the other ones. So
yeah. Well, one secret, way to do that, or not secret, but what one way that I've tackled that, especially when I work with very picky producers and bands, I sometimes do like that. Okay, I will record this song 4 times. And you pick, because I mean, and I won't send them any shitty takes, but I send them the take a little bit different, a little bit more grittiness, or whatever, angrier or sadder or whatever, and they get to pick, because otherwise, there can be an endless back and forth. Well, you can change that one to this and do this and do this, when you have picky producers, that is.
Yeah, of course. That's why you should be your own producer. Produce your own voice and decide.
Yeah.
This is the voice you're getting. Really, take it. This is what you get. But that is also requires a lot of work too, because
sorry.
I was gonna say, even if you're satisfied with what you've done, then you send it, and they can say, okay. You pronounce that word a little bit wrong. You're a little bit flat over here, and it's like, oh shit, I didn't hear that. Thank you for telling me. And then you have to re-record everything. So so it's tomatoes.
Yeah, and we also we've had a lot of questions about your range.
Okay.
And I actually didn't make, if I were to be super serious, or if I were a real journalist, maybe I would have checked like, okay, what do we have? But I'm pretty certain I've heard you do like the B or C above the what I used to call the Mark Bowles A.
Yeah, exactly. Mark Bowles A.
Yeah. So I would probably guess that the C is there. Could you correct me? Do we have more?
We we have I've recorded C, so I have that on albums in choirs. I have a B recorded in a couple of covers, but for choirs I've done C a couple of times. I have been able to do a D live, a little bit drunk, singing karaoke, and I got feeling, and I was screaming, and I reached the D. So I've done that a couple of times, but I need to be in very, very good shape in my voice to be able to do that.
Or very drunk.
Yeah, it's like, I'm sorry?
Or very drunk.
Exactly. Very, very drunk. Hopefully the rest of the crowd will be drunk as well. So, but anyway, if I would record on a regular day, I would be able to reach B without problems, but it requires a little bit more to reach the C, and the D is just
because that for me around there it feels like another passaggio, another switch, like the same way like we talked about, like an octave below that. I feel like there's another switch and I haven't really crossed that. Actually, the highest note I recorded was doing backing vocals for you in the Aldaria album.
Really?
There's a light. There's like because I've heard that one too when I was out having a walk now, and I listened to a lot of your stuff. So there is in the backing vocals there's a B flat, and that's the highest one that I've recorded.
Oh, shit.
Actually, yeah, and so that, and we all know that it's only the high notes that matters. But you know, if we go down, la 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 la, where does it end?
La 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 la. Really, I'm a little bit embarrassed here because my lower range is awful. I mean, we've been recorded choirs with Sabaton now.
Yeah.
And I mean, we were standing there doing choirs, and Joachim is like, take a look at this melody to see if it's too low for you, Tommy. I was like, okay, thanks. So I tried to sing it, and it's like, you know, it's like, I can almost do it with power, but otherwise it's la 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 like that. Then I can reach, and then we have Chris standing next to me who goes like bum 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 with full power, and I don't feel really manly when I'm standing there next to someone who can sing so low, with such power. And so my.
That would mean like we have like 3.5.
I have
something like that. And then
I can reach 3.5 sounds about right, because sometimes I can go down to F.
Yeah.
But not today. I'm not gonna make a fool of myself here. La, 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 la.
We also got a comment here from Jenny, and she says it's not about that. Yes, we know, but it's still funny.
Yeah.
Size or no, range doesn't matter. I mean.
Yeah, no, of course. It's not important how low or how high you sing. For me, what matters is how you sing it.
And how you sing, because I can reach, or many singers can reach a high note, but can they make it sound good? And
exactly.
that's I had the moment you talked about, you know, listening to when you heard like Eagle Fly Free, or when you could sing that. I remember, do you know TNT, the Norwegian band with Tony
Of course.
Harnell?
10,000 lovers in one.
You know, it's stupid.
Or
I
12 of
remember
Tales.
one of my vocal coaches that I had ages ago. We sung a lot of Toto stuff and things like that, and he was like, "I have an album here. Borrow it. You go home and listen to this one." It was the TNT album. And it starts off with this the lay your cards on the table. You know, I don't remember the song. Everyone's a star.
Ah, yeah.
And I was like, you know, but this is that was my first, like, this is something else. And then I had another one when I heard Mikel Lupi. There are other great singers, but you know, those moments that, oh. Same with Sahir from Miraf, or
Yeah.
Janis from Beast in Black. But when I heard him in the Greek band, what was the name of that? Yeah, the band he had before Beast in Black. Until Rain.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry?
Yeah. Until Rain.
Okay.
The band he had. That was also when I heard him the first time there. That was also like one of my. All right. This is something else. Do you have? This is a question I always try to ask. What's your best and worst vocal memory or singing memory?
Well, I think one of my worst, I can start with that. The worst memory I had was when with ReinXeed 2008, we were playing this huge festival in Umeå called Umeå Stats Kulturnatt. Culture night, I don't remember, but it was like 10,000 people in front of a big stage where we had the Rångedal brothers, we had Thomas Di Leva playing, yeah, what's the Northman, yeah, it was a lot of, you know, big famous singers there, and it was 10,000 people standing in the crowd, and we, with ReinXeed, were asked to play after Thomas Di Leva. Thomas Di Leva is a Swedish singer who sings about space and oranges. And,
Hippie.
Yeah, he has a dress and hippie.
It's very nice. Everything is very nice.
Yeah, everything is nice. Like. Anyway, he's quite big in Sweden, and we were to play after him. But then the night before, I was so excited because we were playing covers of another Swedish famous artist called E-Type. We were doing E-Type, it's like Eurodance, E-Type covers in power metal versions, and you know, we were headlining this festival. A small band. We barely released the first ReinXeed album with only a couple of weeks or something. And we were headlining this festival because we played E-Type power metal covers. And I was so excited about this that I couldn't sleep. I slept like an hour, and we were about to play at night, the night after. So my voice was really up. And we go up on stage, and I realize, okay, I can't hear my guitar, and I go do a quick line check, and I cannot hear my voice. What is happening? And then, okay, guys, you need to start now. But we haven't done the proper line check yet. We don't know if everything works. Doesn't matter. You need to start now. And I was like 19, 20 years old, and I didn't know how everything worked. So I was like, okay, this is how it is to play in a big show. You just go up on stage and everything will work itself out during the way. I don't know. And I was too scared to ask for more vocals in my monitor because that would be embarrassing, and I didn't know how to do that. It's like, do I say, can I get more vocals here? So I couldn't barely hear myself, and I forgot the lyrics, and then I heard it afterwards because my dear sweet little sister, she filmed everything, and I watched it, and I was like, oh my god, what am I doing? It was like maybe 10%, 15% in tune. I was so out of tune, and it was just so awful. And I saw people commenting about that on this social media called Akberget, the Monkey Mountain. It's like Instagram, but 15 years ago. And people were, saying the singer is so awful. And people, friends came to me and said, I know a guy. His name is Anders. He's a great singer. You should contact him.
Oh, God.
So, my self-esteem was...
Oh, God.
Yeah, and then I realized someone put it up on YouTube, with a professional camera, different angles, and it sounded so awful. So I told this person, please, for the love of God, remove it from the internet. And thankfully, they removed it, so it doesn't exist, only on my computer. So no one will ever see that. And yeah, that was horrible. So that was one of the worst vocal memories ever. Really, I mean, except some drunken karaoke nights, but that really.
Yeah.
So, one of the best was actually the Twilight Force tour, because I have actually another memory. This is my top 3 best vocal memories. We were doing the Sabaton tour in 2017. We end a 2.5 month long tour together with Accept and Twilight Force.
I saw you in Kristianstad.
Yes, exactly. That's where we met for the first time.
Yes, now I remember.
Yes, when I had my white jeans that I will never wear again. Anyway, so we end this tour on April the 1st of April in Luleå, which is very, very close to my hometown. So
your home turf.
I'm sorry?
It's like your home turf.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Only 30 kilometers from my hometown. So I knew a lot of people in the crowd. And I really felt this is my night. People were shouting, Tommy, Tommy, instead of Sabaton. And everywhere I looked, I saw, there's Christian. There's LG. There's Anders. There's my family. There's my other family. There's a third family. Whatever, And the people in the crew, they were pulling pranks on me personally. Our last show prank, putting pictures of me dressed like a girl all over stage. Everywhere I looked, there was a picture of me as a girl. I could really feel this was my night. It was such a glorious evening. And then I talked with Christian, and we said, okay, come up and join us on stage for the last show, and sing one verse of the Twilight, the Power of the Ancient Force. Yeah. And there's this one part of the song that is really, really high, that me and Chris Roland from Sabaton, we always went to see Twilight Force when they play that song, because we wanted to see if Christian could hit those high notes. Most of the time he could do that, and it was just magical. And now I got the opportunity to do that. And since I would only sing that part of the song, I gave it all I got, really. And I sang it just like he did on the album, and I even pushed it a little bit higher. Yeah. And you can see Christian's face when I do that. It's like, what the fuck, dude? Come on. Yeah. Like that. And
I even think I've seen that.
Yeah,
seen that clip. Yeah, I've seen it.
It's on YouTube, and doing that, it was not perfect because I've never practiced the song. I just learned the lyrics and went up on stage. But I mean, the ending part, when I got to go up those super high notes, and then I feel, okay, I can do even higher, and I went up even higher. It's this but one octave higher. And on nights of twilight, mine will rise again. but one octave higher.
Yeah.
But then I went up on stage and lights out, twilight, mine will rise again. But exactly, and I did that, and yeah, I can see the guys in Twilight was looking at me like, "Nice job."
That's where you got your job.
Yeah. So yeah, one of the best vocal moments for sure, really, and you know, my hometown and
yeah, where everything kind of fits.
yeah, my first European tour with Sabaton, and ends up there, people shouting my name. Oh wow, what an evening that was, really.
Yeah,
Really.
that's like when you feel like you're standing on a mountain and you're singing.
Exactly.
Like and when everything, you know, like you described it, when you, even before you sing it, you can feel that. And this is not, you know, being super narcissistic, but you feel like this shit's gonna be good.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
Whatever I hear in here, you know, I can feel the connection. Like it's just gonna happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
And those kind of wow moments, I think those are the ones that I kind of live for when it comes to singing.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, when you go up there on stage and, you know, like in 2 seconds, I'm going to do this note and I'm actually going to do one a little bit higher and then I'm going to go down to that note in a new way and it's going to be absolutely perfect. You know, all of those thoughts in half a second. And then you do that and it goes all according to plan. It's a great feeling, really. It's one of those feelings where you really feel I am the king of the world.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, you stay humble. Or it's not like you tell everybody, "Hey, I nailed the highest note.
Did you hear?
I'm the king now." No, but you feel that for yourself, really. You feel very proud of yourself, and it's a great feeling.
Yeah, I had a kind of similar thing like you did with the Twilight Force when I first joined Cantees. It was the same kind of, you know, stand in on short notice thing, stupid hard songs. And there's a part in one of the songs too, like there's a From Humanity, and I did, you know, I heard like a melody like, ooh, this could work. And I had it From Humanity, like up to the G sharp, and had the exact same, like I could see like Tony from the other side of the and from him that's like,
okay,
because he's very picky. Yeah, and yeah, you know the guy who sang before me there too.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And that, I mean, he sometimes people have bad things to say about him, but to each and every one of you, try to sing the songs that were written for him live with short preparation. I dare you.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
I've actually listened to the stuff he did before you joined in. I didn't know he sang in Quantis when
No.
Because you were kind and sent me a copy of the album, which I've been listening to so much in my car. I love the album. I told you this many times, and there we have it. I see it. I have it in my closet now, where I have all my CDs.
Yeah.
I've been rearranging everything. My home recording studio used to be here, but now it's in the living room. So anyway, fantastic album. And then I looked it up on Spotify to listen to outside the car. And then I see there's a couple of other albums. And then I hear, holy shit, this is Pelle K singing. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, why didn't you tell me?
Yeah. And that album is great, but you know, he has a bit more of a souliness in his voice than I do. So that was kind of, and about this, learning songs. There's it's no secret, but what I did to learn those songs was that I recorded them like a million times. What? Yeah, the Pelle K song. Yeah, for this tour. So I recorded the songs like a million times, picked each and every word in pitch, put on a fuck ton of auto tune and reverb and everything, just so that they were perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. And then I listened to those versions, like of my perfect versions, to to get those inside my head, so I could get rid of Pelle K's voice, because I as soon as I started to sing the songs, I noticed that I was trying to copy him, and that was like, and not because he's a bad singer, but because we don't have the same voice box. And when I tried to copy him, it turned, I got so tensed up. So I said, this isn't working. I can't do it like this. So I kind of cheated or whatever, but to make the songs my own in a way.
Yeah, I know. It's the same when I practice the songs for Twilight Force. The first gig, I sang everything like Christian did on the album, and then on the last show, it was like I had my my own style on singing the songs. You get used to it, doing it your own way. Eventually, you feel, okay, I can sing like this. And I mean, Pelle K does he does a lot of oh yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And maybe you don't want to do that, but of course you get used to singing like that. But then you realize, okay, instead of singing yeah, yeah, you sing yeah, yeah, and then it feels weird because you're not used to it. But eventually you will get used to singing like that, and that that's why it's very smart to do like you did. It's a very good idea, actually.
Yeah, and kind of making it your own. But for our next time, that would be the greatest epic long voice chats, to listen to the first Twilight Force show and the last one, commenting it.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know how many people would stay throughout the entire thing, but I'd love to.
If people don't want to hear it, at least we can do it.
Yeah, we can do it, and we can whenever the pandemic situation is calmer, and whenever there is another Sabaton open air, that's what we should do. We should get super drunk and watch live versions.
Yes.
Of and comparison battle.
Yeah. Sounds like a plan. We will put it on Instagram Live as well.
Yeah, and I'd love to, whenever things allow it, to, since I know that you're a national champion in karaoke in Sweden. I don't remember what year, but you
2009.
are. Yeah. I'd love to give you a go for the title, or whatever you say, because I'm also like I'd love to. So that's a challenge hanging in the air. So whenever.
Well, I say challenge accepted.
All right.
To quote Barney Simpson.
Yes, a toast to that, and I think it's time to kind of round things up. But once again, thank you very much. Great talking to you, and thanks for sorry for taking the time. We didn't have time for all the questions, but if we were, then we would have been here all night. So I'll just leave it there, and to everyone watching, I will put this thing up on YouTube and other places later. So once again, Tommy, thanks you very much for having this little talk.
Well, thank you too, David. It's been a pleasure to be here. I'm very honored I got this opportunity. Nice to talk to you again, and hopefully I will see you soon in person when this pandemic, is over. And I also like to say for the people watching, I've seen your comments here. We haven't been able to answer everything, but thanks everyone for
Yeah, we are
for your lovely comments.
very thankful for each and every one. And just like you said, sorry we can't acknowledge each and every one, but you should know that we both appreciate it very much.
Yes, of course, absolutely. And I've seen there's a lot of good people. There's some people from my family, some people here in Stockholm. Secret Summer from the glorious Dragony has been watching as well.
Oh, great album.
And yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you wrote
Anders
a song
from
on that one.
Yes, I did, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
The God of War, the first single.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yes, thank you.
Well, I hope we will be able to make some more stuff together soon, and until whenever, to each and every one, including you, Tommy, see you out there. Good night.
Take care. See you out there, and have a glorious Saturday.
Bye.
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 Bye.